All right, are we recording? Yep. All right. So, I just spent about 15 minutes. No, yeah, 15 minutes making a video, 15 minutes putting it on the computer and attempting to edit it, only to find out that the file format that I recorded on was not the right file format, and it was a fail. So it's what time is it? It's 11:40 at night. So I could wrap it up and just kind of go to bed, and then maybe do another video tomorrow and just uh, call it a day. But I'm not going to do that because I'm working on consistency. This is day number 3, and not only am I working on consistency in trading, but I'm also working on consistency in building this channel. This is a channel where every day that I trade, I do a vlog, a video journal, talking about the day, what I learned from the day, what I reflected on the day, whatever, you know, whatever I have to say on the day that I think is of note. And so consistency, that is the theme of the day. Now I know the previous videos that I've been talking about, they all kind of have to do or circle around consistency in some way. But consistency in showing up in your trading, in your rules, and for me, consistency in also making these videos every day. Trying to do that for a year, not every day, because obviously I'm not going to be trading on Saturday or Sunday or anything like that, holidays. But on the days where I more or less am trading, I want to say something, even if it's only a few minutes, even if it's only 30 seconds, just making a post talking about what happened that day. So what I want to get into though is again consistency, because consistency, that is what is going to take you to the finish line. Now, I hear a lot about traders doing really, especially on Twitter. I mean, this is more or less where a lot of traders are either flexing or venting or arguing or whatever it is. And there's a lot of traders who will get frustrated, and they'll show their accounts and say, I went bust. I was doing so good and I went bust on the final day. I was going to get a payout, or this and that. And it always grabs me. It's like, where's your consistency? Okay, now I'm not trying to trash talk anybody, but if you've been doing well, let's say the whole month, let's say you've been doing well 29 days, and then on that 30th day you blow out. What does that tell you? Okay, that tells you that your losers are huge, that all it takes is one day for you to basically lose everything, right? Over leveraging, taking having way too much size. One loser should not wipe out your whole account. All right. Now, if that is the case, then you are consistently over leveraging yourself. Okay. That's where the consistency is. The consistency, you are consistently not controlling your losers, right? And that's where the consistency is. A lot of people say, "Oh, work on your consistency." Well, a lot of times, yeah, you can work on it the right way or the wrong way. For me, consistency is making sure that my losers are very, very small. So today, when you see the stats, it was a good day. It was a green day. But more than it being a good day because it was a green day, it was a good day because the losers were still very small. The losers that I had today, they did not overshadow the wins. And there was more losers than there was winners, but the winners were much bigger. So at the end of the day, that puts you at the finish line. I'm trying to get to that point where I know that I can control these losers, and the winners, they're going to do what they do. I'm going to let them run, or either I'm going to end up with a small winner or a huge winner. Okay, I'm going to let them do what they're going to do, but the losers is where I'm really focusing on. So I'm consistently trying to make sure that my losses are small. And again, I always focus on what my mentor says, right? It's not how much money that you make, but it's how much money you don't lose when you're wrong. Okay. And so I just want to repeat that today in this journal entry because I didn't do anything different than I did on day number 1 or day number 2. I did the exact same thing. And what happened? Well, I ended up with a green positive day because my winners took me to where I needed to go. They put me into the profit zone. And as long as I can do that, then I don't need to have a very high win ratio. Okay, I don't need to be right 80% of the time. I don't even need to be right 50% of the time. Okay, because the winners are going to take care of that. There's a rule that you shouldn't put 1%, more than 1% of your capital exposure at risk on per trade. So in other words, when you get into a trade, you should only be risking 1% of your capital on that trade. So that should give you 100 trades, so to speak. Mine is less than that. I try to do 0.5% to 1%. And a lot of people say, how are you going to make money like that? Well, if you can't make money on making a few dollars, then you're not going to make money with a few $100 or a few $1,000. And what's going to happen is you're going to run the risk of ending up like some of these traders that you see on Twitter who will have, they'll have a great month or a great few months, and one bad day they wipe it all out. It's basically showing you that they don't know how to control those losers. That one losing trade can wipe out everything. So again, my goal in this is just to control those losers, so that never happens. Now there is going to be losers, of course. I mean, and there's going to be a string of losers. But as long as they're very, very small, I'm going to live to be able to trade to the next day. So we'll do what you want with that. Oh, there's two things that I want to finish out on. First, the stats. Let's pull up the stats. All right, so you can see the stats right now. And again, what is the edge, right? What is the edge? It's not really how much money did you make for the day, but rather it's what is the size of the winners to the losers. That is the key. That is the key, folks. So a lot of times you'll see people sharing, I made $5,000 today. Watch me make $2,000 in 2 minutes, things like that. Great. Fantastic. Okay, cool. That sounds good. But what I want to know is, what is your edge more than that? Okay. Because you could just, you can have a lot of size. I mean, you can be like what some of these traders are doing and buy 20 contracts in one go and just get a little pop, and I made $1,000. Look at me. Let me post it on my Instagram. Great, okay. But if you were to share the profit factor, it's that's what's really going to show you whether you are a good trader or you're not. And most of the time you don't see that. Actually, I've never seen anybody post their profit factor and their edge and their expectancy on Instagram. Never seen it. The only ones who I know do it are legendary traders like Mark Minervini and others who have a verifiable track record. That's verifiable. So you can see that there. But other than that, that's just what I want to say today. The other thing is, going into all of this, I want to go ahead and share this tweet that was posted on Top Step, which is the brokerage firm that I use. The prop firm that I use. They do have a brokerage, but I have a prop account with them. So Top Step posted this tweet on their X feed. And I can't see it right now because I'm talking to the camera, but I believe it's like 61% of traders will blow out in one day on their Combine accounts, and on Express accounts, it's also up there. Okay. But what does this tweet tell you? This tweet tells you that the traders are, the losers are wiping out the traders because they haven't mastered control of your losses, and that's risk management. So risk management is the key ingredient in being a profitable trader. You could have a great strategy, but if you don't have the risk management to execute it right, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter whether you have a winning strategy or not. Anyways, it's getting late, guys. The first video was a bust, so hopefully this one works. And yeah, this was day number 3. So we'll see what day number 4 is in store. Peace. Take care.